The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
All right. Good evening and welcome to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Eric Arditti. I'm one of the co-hosts. To my right is a man fresh off his appearance at the Met Gala last night. Pantsless fashion is a thing now. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how we doing?
That's right. I've been waiting for it. You know, people tried to critique my outfit last night. I was politely escorted off the premises by two nice guys. We talked a little sports, and I told them to tune into the podcast. So Chuck and Larry, if you're listening, I hope you I hope you're checking it out. Thanks for not being too rough with me.
You should have just said that you were Sabrina Carpenter's date, because she went pantsless too, apparently. So
yeah, that would have been smarter, but I wasn't. I'm still in vacation mode, but I'm back. All
right, we're going to bring our special guest Eric Arditti from Barstool Sports in just a moment. But before we go, and just want to tell you about just follow us on social media. Take care of some business. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required, and check out our other podcasts and articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you subscribe to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora. And also, please don't forget to hit that notification bell. Get yourself notified on Twitter and on YouTube. That way you know when we have show announcements, when we go live, when we have extra videos that go up, because this will be on replay on the Belly Up YouTube channel sometime tomorrow morning. And also, thanks to everyone joining us on the Belly Up Sports Facebook page. We're broadcasting to the Belly Up Facebook page right now, as opposed to our regular page, because we got a special guest, and we just want to just say welcome to you, as the Belly Up Sports says during this broadcast. You can support the creator by sending stars, a digital gift that helps us earn money. So yes, if you can do that, that would be fantastic. And also on the podcast side, rate, review, comment, 5-star rating, review where you can on a podcast platform where you can review. Also on Spotify, you can comment. And because we're a live show, most Tuesdays at 6:30, but we pushed up to 7 o'clock to accommodate our guest. And Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. Again, thanks to Levac and Goss for filling in for Dustin on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a lively program, although, again, Levac will defend Bill Belichick to the death. But, hey, regardless of what side you're on, it's great content.
Yeah, I gotta catch up with that one, man. I saw that it was live, but I was I tried to catch the end of it, but my service down in VA not too good. So I gotta download that one and catch up, because I want to hear their favorite 31s. I know I sent mine in, but
well, they had to leave before we got to 31. But
oh man, okay.
But again, we're a live show Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we got some comments already rolling in the comments section. But Dustin, it's been a while since I played. Since we've got to this time.
Yeah, the comments are early, but the watch is just hitting it. It's chime time.
Certainly is. All right, we're gonna bring in our guest. Actually, yeah, with the rolling the comment with the comments. D's Ray of Sunshine's with us. The playmaker Darnell is with us. Daniel Smooth is with us as well. All in the comments section.
Smooth.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Smooth. He's going nuts because his Islanders secured the number 1 pick in the draft, in NHL draft last night. So he's on seventh heaven. Although if they waited an extra year, could have gotten themselves Gavin McKenna. And if you don't know who Gavin McKenna is, we're all going to find out in 2026. But anyway, let's bring in our guest. He's been on the show before. He's a friend of the show. He's part of Barstool Sports as a writer for Major League Baseball and the Baltimore Orioles primarily. He's in the DMV area. Also, one of the panelists on the Exit 52 podcast. We've got Eric Arditti. Eric, how are we doing tonight, sir?
We are good. We are good. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a pleasure. What is it? It's probably 3 or 4, 5 times I've been on now, but it's always a good time chatting with you guys.
Always a fun time.
Happy to see you again. Thanks for coming on. And gentlemen, before we really dive in, I have a question for you both. Now, I was in Virginia and I went to a place. It's a Saturday night, and this is a place where they serve cocktails. They have a bar. You can smoke cigars. Again, it's Saturday night. We go there 7:30. We walk in, we order our cigars, and we order our cocktails. They did a cocktail flight. Fantastic. I will keep them anonymous, though, because of what happened. So we're in there. What time do you think an establishment of this nature would close on a Saturday night in Virginia?
I would assume sometime after midnight. Anytime after midnight, I would be like, yep, that makes sense. Whether it be 12:30, 1, 2, 5, 7, something like that.
Ryan?
I'm going to take a gander and say 3 a.m.
This place closed at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. 9 p.m. We're out there. We're smoking the cigars. We're having a great time. We got a charcuterie board coming out. We had just eaten a slice of pizza.
Nope. Say it right. It's carcucci.
Carcucci. My apologies. We're out there. We're enjoying it. And like I ordered a cocktail flight. I had to chug one of the cocktails because they're basically like, hey, you got to hit the bricks. We're like 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Now, they are a distillery by trade, and I would recommend their spirits. But it has a bar that serves cocktails. 9 o'clock. I was blown away.
Yeah, that's strange. I wouldn't. Yeah, a Tuesday. I would sure.
That's what I said. I was like, if it's a Wednesday, I'm fine with it. But it's a Saturday.
Yeah, that's strange. I would not be a fan of that.
That's an automatic 2-star deduction. I'm giving it a grade.
At least.
Yeah, and Mr. Smooth saying, Stanley Smooth saying this is a travesty. It closed at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. And D's Ray Sunshine says the same thing. It's a travesty.
Yeah. All right.
Certainly. All right. So we're gonna get to our main topic of conversation. We're talking about a little baseball. We're talking a little baseball today. We're trying to focus on it this spring, but we've had other things kind of take precedence, fortunately or unfortunately. But we're going to talk about the American League East and this division. I don't want to call it a mess, but I'll bring up a tweet that Eric tweeted today and saying that the Athletics, the homeless Athletics, have more wins than every team in the American League East. Now, this is the present standings as of right now, as of this recording, not counting the games that are going on right now. So the Yankees are in first place, as it should be, with a 19-16 record. They've lost 4 of the last 6, and the last 3 in a row. Right behind them at 18-18, the Boston Red Sox, who have also lost 4 of their last 6. Right behind them, Tampa Bay Rays, 16-18, also. Well, actually, they're 6-4 in their last 10, and they've won their last 2 games in a row. Fourth place, Toronto Blue Jays, also at 16-18. They're also on a 4-6 ride in their last 10. And unfortunately for Eric, his Baltimore Orioles, 13-20, lost 4 of their last 10. And I gotta admit this, Eric, so we get it out of the way. It may be mine and Dustin's fault that the Baltimore Orioles are doing so bad right now. Because beginning of before the season began, we did our MLB preview. We both have the Baltimore Orioles as our American League champions. Dustin had them winning the World Series. I had them the Dodgers, which would put the no credentials required stink on the Baltimore Orioles. I want to apologize for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll lead the way and say I did not see this coming. I mean, obviously we got to talk to you because you are a fan of the team and you know way more about the team than I do. But I did not think their pitching would be this bad. I thought they'd be able to limp along until Grayson Rodriguez. He's on this the 60-day IL now. He got moved. Charlie Morton just was bad. Kyle Gibson got shelled in his debut, his return. I mean, is it just the pitching or what else do you think it is?
No, I mean it's a little bit of everything. I think we knew going into the season that the pitching was the weak spot. I think everybody knew that. Obviously, Corbin Burns, went home and got his money, and that's perfectly fine. We all kind of knew that he wanted to be out in Arizona, which is, again, his family lives there. That's perfectly fine. Best of luck. But the replacements for him were, I don't even know if you can call them replacements. Again, I will say, Tomoyuki Sagano has been awesome. He's the 35-year-old rookie that came over from Japan. That was a big Adam Jones, who is now technically in the front office. He's helping Mike Elias. He's kind of an ambassador. He played, a couple years overseas in Japan. He told them, like, this guy is the real deal. He is a stud, and he has been as good as advertised. He's been awesome. Again, he had the best game of the year so far against the Yankees a couple weeks back. I think he had 8 strikeouts coming into the game, or no, he had 9 strikeouts coming into the game. He had 8 that game. So he was awesome. He is your prototypical Japanese pitcher. Not going to blow you away with 98, but he'll play the cat and mouse game, and he goes side to side and up and down, and it's just it's awesome to watch. But yeah, like you said, Uncle Charlie Morton has been just dog water. He has been as bad could be. Are you one of the worst pitchers, if not the worst pitcher in baseball? But yeah, that was kind of it. Like you mentioned, Kyle Gibson, other Uncle Kyle Gibson, coming back into the fold, and yeah, he hasn't been it. And probably, if he could eat some innings, that would be great, but he's not going to be anything special. But that's been the failure so far. But also the offense kind of stinks. I mean, they're not scoring. If they are scoring, it's weird because they'll either score like 9 runs and they'll win, or they score 1. There's no real in between.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just been everything is a struggle right now. You factor in the injuries. It's just everything is bad. The only good thing is they're still getting some of these guys back. Zach Eflin's going to come back. Jordan Westberg and Tyler O'Neill are on rehab assignments currently. So we're slowly getting pieces back together. Again, it's May 6th. It's hard to keep pounding it's still early drum, but there's 130 games left. Obviously, we saw the Nats. Nats were 19-31. They won a World Series. The Astros last year rebounded. The Braves a couple years ago. So there's still a little glimmer of hope. And like you just talked about, you went down the standings. No one has run away, but they're 5.5 games back, and it feels like they're 35 games back. It's a legitimate miracle that they're not 10 games back and being like, we have Ravens starting a couple weeks, so we'll pay attention to that like it used to be here. But yeah, it is. If anything could go wrong for the Orioles, it's gone wrong this year. So again, I just keep their injury bug. The injury bug can't be that bad every year, year after year. And it just seems to be that bad this year. So I don't know. Hopefully they get all the injuries out of the way early and we can just kind of cruise through summer. And if they tread water, that's all they got to do. Keep treading water and stay afloat. And hopefully you make a trade or two and you get your guys back, and, you will just kind of go from there.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the standings, I mean, you're not going to get an NFL situation where a team under 500 is going to is going to win the division and go to the playoffs. It's not likely to happen in Major League Baseball. I don't think it's ever happened in Major League Baseball. If I'm standing correctly.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I know with the Yankees right now, their struggle is not maintain. Is their bullpen is not maintaining leads, which is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Last night they were up 3-0, and they let 4 runs in at the eighth in the top of the 8th inning to lose. They just, for some reason, I don't know why their bullpen can't seem to hold leads.
No, Williams getting demoted, obviously that was it's not surprising, but I thought this was going to be the big signing. You know, we were making fun of the Mets for going out and getting Clay Holmes and trying to convert him to a starter, you know. But we're the ones eating crow right now. But the Blue Jays, Ryan, you called it. You said they were going to be bad, and it's early, and you did, but you said it's going to be bad for Toronto. So I'm not necessarily surprised about Toronto, but Boston, I thought Boston would be a little more plucky than this with the new signings they had. Tanner Houck excluded. Tanner Houck's been bad for a couple of years now. I don't know why. I had him on my fantasy team. Am I just bitter? Yeah. But he was the first that went to the waiver wire
He's
for
got
me.
that
So.
Dustin Henry stink on him. That's what
I know. I'm jinxing people left and right.
Well, actually, I do have a question for Eric. I mean, other than is there any other team other than Baltimore, other than your Orioles? Is there any other team that you're kind of seeing in this division right now that is kind of, I wouldn't say shocking, but surprising you as to where they are right now in this placing?
In the division, not really, because like you said, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with Boston. I thought Boston, once they signed Bregman all off season, I was like, I don't know, they don't scare me, they don't do anything. Once they got Bregman, I was like, oh crap, that's kind of good. But again, I mean, they're pitching. They're I don't know. They just don't seem to have they just flirt with 500 the whole time. You know, they can't get above or below. It's just they're just right around there. They're the ones again after they signed Bregman. I kind of thought, all right, they may just run away with this thing because, and I'll still say it, like, you know, you guys were just talking about it, but the Yankees outside of Judge, I would let any one of them beat. If Paul Goldschmidt's going to beat me, Paul Goldschmidt's going to beat me. It's not like last year with Soto, you know, and you had to worry about that. But that lineup outside of Judge does not scare me at all. The pitching, obviously, I mean, Rodon, he didn't get the win last night, but I thought this has been his best stretch of baseball in a long, long time. Even though, again, he may not be getting the wins and they're, you know, they're still, what do you say, 3 games above 500. I think he's pitched very, very well, and he's been on the back end of some of the Devin Williams throw up all over himself. I had the tweet last night where I said I thought it was funny that, again, Devin Williams came to the Yankees, basically demanded that they change a 75-year-old rule. They were like, you know what? Yeah, we'll change it. You guys can grow your beards. And then he instantly just peed down his leg. And was like, oh, crap. Now, somebody was like, if Soto would have done it last year and then, like, re-signed, it would have been like, oh, yeah, that's fine. It's Juan Soto. Who cares? But they're like, we let this guy come into our clubhouse, change this rule. Like, Andrew McCutchen cut his dreadlocks off.
Yeah, he did.
And he was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. And Devin Williams was like, I want to grow a beard. And they were like, you know what? That's fine. And then he's like, oh, watch this. I'm going to have a 10 ERA now. And they were like, oh, crap. Maybe this isn't the guy that we should have bent the knee for. It was just funny. But yeah, I don't know. I would say Boston. Right now, Boston is probably the most surprising just because the Yankees had their question marks. But like you said, Boston has too. I didn't think Devin Williams would be that bad when they traded for him, and especially when they traded Nestor for him. I was like, oh, that's a great move. Like, that is a really, really good move. And he just seems to be broken since the Alonso home run in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I see every Mets fan on social media saying, we broke Devin Williams. We broke him. Like, thanks, guys. Thanks for breaking them. Like, can you fix them again?
I mean, maybe that's what it is too. Because I'll admit, when he struggled in the opener against the Brewers, I'm like, well, this team knows him very well. Like, obviously, they're going to hit him well. But then the Brewers couldn't hit the broadside of a barn for the rest of that series. And then, you know, with what he's done, I was just like, uh-oh. You know what it's reminding me of, Ryan, is shades of Jeff Weaver. Remember, he had those great seasons in Detroit, and they bring him over, and he just couldn't handle. It was almost like he's too emotional for New York. He would melt down if he threw a curveball and he didn't get the call. He's like losing his mind on the mound. I don't know. Something is in Williams' head for sure. Something is in it. But the only saving grace, you hate to see it, but Nestor did not look very good, and then he got hurt, I believe, if memory serves. But this Devin Williams, the signing, ever since Mariano, we haven't really had a closer with the exception of the flamethrower, you know, Chapman, but he has his own set of issues, obviously. So
I think is he in Pittsburgh, I think?
He's in Boston.
Boston. He's in Boston. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh
I know.
man.
Believe me, my buddy Jared Carabas, who has multiple videos making fun of Aroldis Chapman and calling him out for everything he did. Now he's like,
Whoops.
he said he straight up was like, I'm very uncomfortable with this. Like, I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't like him as a person or as a player. And he's like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I'm not gonna change my tone just because the guy's on my team now. Like, I still don't like him. But he's like, I hope he wins games, but I don't have to like him. So it's funny to watch Boston fans kind of, I don't know, tiptoe around that one.
Like, what a dirtbag! What a dirtbag! He's our dirtbag.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I was yelling, and when Nelly Cruz came back for Texas after his steroid suspension, I was sitting in right field in Camden, and I was giving it to him. I was like, "You're a trash bag! How dare you!" And then next year they sign him, and he hits the game-winning home run on opening day, and I'm like, I love this guy. I've always loved Nelly Cruz. Who cares? It's a little steroid. Who cares? Everybody did it. It doesn't matter. So,
Everybody does it.
That's
It's
what
okay.
Yeah. That's
what is it? Glass rocks in a glass house. Don't but yada yada yada.
Yeah. Some proverb like that.
Yeah. I
Based off
remember
fable.
my most guilty one, and this is going back, but it's a football one. The early 2000s, the Rams had Grant Wostrom, and I couldn't stand, like the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm like, I can't stand this dude. And then the Seahawks went out and signed him when the Rams were kings of the division, and the Seahawks were getting closer. It was in the Holmgren years, but they just couldn't take the Rams down. And then they signed Grant Wostrom, and I'm like, he's awesome. He's great. I'm sitting there.
Yeah, my guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. But American League, like you said, Eric. I mean, it's baseball compared to other sports like the NFL. In a way, the NBA and the NHL, it's a long season.
Yeah.
It's a long season. It's May 6th, and right now, this standings could turn on its head in a month. We could see Baltimore creep up, get into second or third place. We could possibly see the Toronto Blue Jays sink like a stone. We don't know, but we could see the Red Sox in first place.
Yeah,
it's a long season. But right now, I'm looking at the division. I'm going, is this the best or worst division in baseball? I don't know how to judge this.
I just remember thinking, like, again, when they signed Bregman and the Yankees were doing all that stuff, I was just like, man, this summer, like watching the AL East, every game is going to be a dogfight. Like, it's going to be just a rock fight. And now it's like, this is a wet noodle fight. Like, nobody wants to win this thing. Nobody wants to run away with it. If any team if the Yankees could put together, I don't know, a consistent week, they'd be 6 or 7 games up on second place and just running. Same thing with Boston, but nobody wants to run away with it. I'm with you too on Toronto. I don't think they're anything. I think they're going to trade Bichette at the deadline, and they'll have Vlad and Santander, those are 2 good pieces. But I don't know, I think they have to kind of tear that thing down from the top with Schneider. I think Schneider's a loser. I think they got to get him out of there. That's
what I was saying before the season began. I said this is going to be the type of season that Toronto. You can say whatever you want about their pitching staff, but this is a season where they're coming to a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and right now they're 2 games below 500. But again, it's May 6th. Anything can happen in the turn of a dime. I had predicted that you would see Vlad Guerrero be traded. You would see Bo Bichette get traded. Bo Bichette, by the way, playing for Brazil for the World Cup qualifying classic, World Baseball Cup qualifiers, which is interesting. But hey, good for him. Got to represent somebody. But yeah, I think you could see Toronto start to sink a little bit.
Yeah.
And start to trade their pieces that they're supposed to be like to have one of the best prospects in baseball. Guerrero, drafting all these young kids who are former baseball players. Now Kevin Biggio is having a blast in Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City is doing really well. They have more wins than all the teams in this division, and they're in third place in the Central.
Yeah, it's been very surprising, and I mean, hats off to Chris Bassett because I didn't think he'd pitch well at all. He's rebounded, but I mean, their rotation. You got the Blue Jays. You got Barrios, who is a long way from prime Jose Barrios on the Twins. And then I believe Gosman's still there, right? He's always a wild card. Kevin Gosman. He was a big, to me, that was a case. And I mean, you know him well, Eric. He was in Baltimore for years. And then he kind of struggled a little bit, but you could see like the flashes were there. But he's another product of the San Francisco Giants. They straightened him out, and Gosman parlayed it into a big contract, and he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. So I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. I think they trade Bichette and they blow it up. The Red Sox are the team that scares me though, because I feel like they always find a way to claw. They'll play for Cora, and I think Bregman is at some point. Devers is gonna finally turn it around. He's been legendarily bad to start the year. But their pitching, I mean, if you're putting your hopes on Lucas Giolito, I'm sorry. He had the one good year, but outside of that, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And again, him coming back from the injury too. But yeah, Bregman scares me, especially with the wall. You go back and look at it, he hasn't had a good offensive season really since the trash can in 2019. But if there's one place he can turn it around, it's a hot summer in Boston where he wall bangs 40 doubles. And it's, every time you look up, he's going to be standing on second base. And again, they're going to have some big hitter behind him. But I'm right there with you. And that offense, I think Cora, especially, I enjoyed the Netflix thing on them where it followed them around last year. I like Alex Cora a lot, especially after watching that. If you haven't, I highly suggest watching it. But, Duran hasn't gotten going. I think I've read that he's the only qualified hitter that still has not pulled a ball for a hit this year. So, again, he's too – talking about the AL, the All-Star MVP last year. Like, he's too good to not have turned it on yet. Same thing with Devers, and that's what scares me is they're both going to flip the switch at the same time. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's why I was terrified of them, in all offseason.
We joked after the first weekend of baseball, because we talked about the Yankees and their offensive explosion against the
the torpedo bats.
The torpedo bats that was complete
changing baseball as we know it. Maybe it just turns out Anthony Volpe stinks, and even if he uses the Mark McGwire slugger bat from the 90s, he still can't hit.
It's true. He's good in spurts, and then and he's good for the first probably month, and then takes a break from May to August, and he comes back in September like he did last year. But yeah, Rafael, we talked about Rafael Devers going his first 0 for 18 or 18.
It was something like
13.
Yeah.
He's back in form. He's kind of getting back to form. He's hitting 250. He's got 11 doubles. He's got 5 home runs. So he's starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah,
compared to the first weekend.
The weather, I contribute a lot of this stuff to the weather too. It's been bad weather all over, and it's been cold and rainy. I mean, the game in New York last night was disgusting. I can't believe they played that.
Trust me, I was driving back.
It was bad. That was awful. And then again, I have MLB Network on right now, and I think it was raining in Boston too. It was the same. It kind of looked like the same thing where it's like. Their uniforms are soaking wet and they're dark, and you could see it dripping off the hat, and it's like that sucks.
Yeah,
so
we're in the Northeast. We're a little bit farther north of New York, up to New York City, and we've had the same kind of weather system the last couple of days. In fact, it's raining again as I speak. It had a little bit of brief bit of sunshine for a little bit, and it's supposed to rain until all the way till Saturday. And
again, I contribute a lot of the guys not being able to get in a rhythm or have success. The weather has been awful all over, so I it's going to get nice, it's going to get hot, the ball's going to fly out of every ballpark, and it'll be fun.
This is why teams in the Northeast mandatory have to have retractable roofs for all their stadiums. Steinbrenner's could have done it in 2009, but they didn't.
I don't know, people would riot. I think if Yankee Stadium ever had a retractable roof, that would be
I would be okay with it, honestly.
Fenway can't,
that's, I mean, I got to admit, Ryan, I'd be one of those people. I'd be like, they can't do this.
I think I would.
Off my lawn!
Yeah. People are already mad that Cleveland football is going to put a roof on it. That's not AFC North football, and I kind of agree.
Yeah,
You
I mean, I hate to say it, but I agree with that too. I'm like, what? That's what makes it. I mean, Jameis in the snow last year, it was one of the best things of Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
Ryan and I joke that there's not much to look forward to most of the time with Thursday Night Football, but that was one.
I agree.
And now Cleveland, and now Cleveland has five quarterbacks in their quarterback room. Congratulations!
But
by
how
the
many
way,
of them are good?
we don't know yet because I mean, we know Joe Flacco. I mean, it's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but he struggled in Indy last year. But how much of that is Indy? Who knows?
So completely off topic. Then we'll go to our network mini commercial break. I sent Dustin a meme this afternoon, and apparently, speaking of the Cleveland Browns, apparently a fan in Colorado, and this is a legit case, is suing the NFL for $100 million over emotional distress from the Shedeur Sanders draft slide.
No,
I hate it. I hate it all.
Yeah,
yeah.
get me off this amusement park ride.
This is not an amusement park ride. This is a misery ride.
Oh,
and apparently, Stanley Smooth wants us to talk about the best rotation in baseball, the Seattle Mariners, and apparently he's in love with them. I don't know much about them because they're in the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, so
I mean, they got some pieces, but the thing is, Logan Gilbert is hurt right now.
Yeah.
Staniel, you talk about he's the best. I mean, it's Brian, or Brian. Woo! Of course, you got to do it. But yeah, Logan Gilbert's hurt right now, and I'm with Ryan. I haven't watched much of the Mariners season so far.
And D's Ray Sunshine saying apparently what's wrong with the AL East is Ryan and Dustin.
It's true. It's true. I'll take it. It's us.
And also Stanley Smooth says, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Yeah. I mean, some bright rays of sunshine here and there, but the news cycle is just terrible. All right.
I hope a judge throws this thing out.
Oh, the judge's totally gonna throw it out.
They've got to. Nobody's got to hear this thing.
No legs at all. All right, we're gonna take our network mandated commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Eric still with us. We're gonna talk about the NHL playoffs and also our favorite athletes to wear, the number 32. So we'll have to find out who it is by sticking around, staying tuned to more No Credentials Required.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
All right, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, one of our premier sponsors, affiliate sponsors at Belly Up Sports. You need a healthy snack. You're jonesing for a good snack, and Righteous Felon has you covered. Every 2-ounce package is 20 ounces. It's 20 grams of protein, low on sugar, all natural. They've got the beef jerky. They got the crafted jerky. They got the turkey jerky, which tastes like a Thanksgiving dinner. It's delicious. You got their air-dried African-inspired biltong, which I guess is also delightful. And you got their beef sticks, and as Dustin will attest to, the street taco sticks, which are made from pork.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood of Righteous Felon. So for the best jerky your money can buy, go to RighteousFelon.com. Fill your basket. When you go to the checkout, you're going to enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout for 15% off your order. But also, if you get $50 worth of merchandise, you get free shipping. So you can combine the free shipping with the promo code, save yourself a little bit of cashola. And it's not just jerky and beef sticks that you can also get some of their gear. And then Dustin has attested to their Wild Ranger dog treats. His His
Oh,
his
yeah.
nephew, his dog nephew goes crazy.
He does. If I'm watching Pickles, I get him the dog treats. He knows exactly where they are in my house. When I start even walking towards where they are, he gets all excited. And the shipping is fast, people.
Yep.
I needed to order these around the holidays last year. It was a couple days before Christmas, and the dog treats arrived Christmas Eve. So they don't mess around with the shipping there at Righteous Felon. And I also will attest to the turkey stick as well. I tried the lemon pepper turkey. Street taco still my number one, but lemon pepper turkey very good too. I got to try this biltong, Ryan. I got to try it.
I had the OG hickory. That's my go-to.
Oh yeah, I love the OG hickory.
Really great. And they've got also, Eric, because I know you're in Maryland. They've also got a beef jerky called Maryland Monroe, and they made it with Old Bay seasoning.
Now we're talking. Now
There
we're
you
talking.
go.
Now you're barking.
Now he's in.
Old Bay goes on anything. It's very good on beef jerky too.
It's also really good on potato chips. I've had the Oops.
Oh yeah,
potato
popcorn,
chips
mac and cheese, beer. You put it in beer. Yeah, try Coors Light with some Old Bay in it. I promise you, Miller Lite, Bud Light, whatever light beer of your choice. I'm telling you, it's very good. We call it a Botini down here, or you put it in Natty Bo.
I'll try that. I'll try that instead of tapping the
hot
Rockies.
chocolate too. We have there's a bagel place down here that puts it in hot chocolate. It's very, very good. I'm telling you.
It's fascinating. Well, Righteous Felon, righteousfelon.com. Promo code BELLYUP at checkout for 15% off your order and also free shipping for any order over $50. All right, we're going to touch on this briefly. Stanley Cup playoffs. Corner Booth said last night on their show, they said the NBA playoffs are the best. The NBA playoffs are on fire. Well, guess what, guys? Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs going on right now. And I can talk about this weekend. 2 Game 7s. Colorado Avalanche goes up 2-0. Dallas Stars score 4 goals in the final frame to take Game 7. Mikko Rantanen of the former Colorado Avalanche now I get the hat trick and the empty netter to seal the game for the Stars. They go on to the next round to play the St. Louis Blues. Oh wait, no! What happened in the last minute 55 of that game?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
If you missed the last minute 55 of the third period of the Winnipeg St. Louis Game 7, you missed out. It was awesome. It was incredible. And Cole Perfetti with the deflection with 1.6 seconds left, the latest game-tying goal in Stanley Cup playoffs history. Goes to double overtime. Adam Lowry, game-winning goal. And the Winnipeg Jets move on to the next round to face the Dallas Stars. So, but all in all, this playoff has been kind of fun. Dustin, I gotta give you props to your Edmonton Oilers.
I was going to say it. They came back.
I ate my words. I ate my humble pie on this podcast on Saturday because I said the Los Angeles Kings were probably going to take that series, and I was wrong.
I agreed with you. Here's the thing. I agreed with you because they had beaten them the last 3 times. I said they're not going to do it again, especially with how they had been playing it. They came back, man. Leon Draisaitl, he decided to remind people, hey, I'm good.
And we got the East Conference. We had Game 1 of the Toronto Florida series last night. Toronto won Game 1 5-4, almost blew a 3-goal lead. And the other Eastern Conference matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes, those bunch of jerks, they beat my doubles in 5 games. Taking on the Washington Capitals. Now, Eric, you're the DMV, and I don't know how close attention you're paying to the Washington Capitals, but it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. They did really well this year. They were kind of a wagon from December onward to the end of the season. Obviously, Ovi Goal Watch was a big hit with his breaking the record of the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Are you still paying attention that the Washington Capitals are still in the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I know we were talking before. I'm not as dialed in as I was a couple years ago when they brought home the cup. But again, it's weird because again, there's no Ovi or there's no Oshie, there's no Backstrom, there's no Kuzi. So it's like but Ovi is still doing it at the ripe age of 68 or whatever his real age is. But no, yeah, I mean, it's still been fun to watch. Obviously, everyone in the area followed this whole year just because of Ovi Watch, and it kind of got off the track when he ended up breaking his leg, and you're like, crap, probably doesn't seem like it's in the cards this year for them. Maybe next year, and then it's like, oh no, by the way, he's still a machine, and he just, you can't knock him off his tracks. It was incredible to watch that going down the stretch, and there were a couple people who were like, oh, maybe they're just so tired and from this chase, and they gave it their all, and all they were doing was trying to make sure Ovi scored goals. And it's like, nope, it's okay. They're still a very good team, and I know a lot of folks are picking Carolina and them. They have a history. Ovi got in the fight a couple years ago with that. He was like, who was it? The 18-year-old kid or whatever who there's like a famous Ovi he never fights. And one kid, he was like an 18 or 19-year-old who was like, I'm going to try and get under his skin. And Ovi just absolutely smoked him. I think Carolina ended up still winning that series, but that kid knows to never try and mess with the grade 8 ever again.
Andrei Svechnikov.
It's an incredible fight. If you watch it, I mean, that is like the epitome of like a little chihuahua, like barking and barking and barking. And the bigger dog being like, I'm not going to pay attention. I'm not going to do it. And then just letting him know like, hey, enough. And the kid's like, oh yeah, my fault. As he's picking up his teeth from the ground, like, yes, you're right. I will never do that again. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's, so again, these teams really got into it towards the end of the year. Carolina kind of rubbed them the wrong way. And, when you have Tom Wilson on your team, you can shut up a team like that very, very easily. And so I was listening to Pardon My Take last night, and I think it was Whitney who said it. And he was like, no other team has a Tom Wilson. Like, there's just no other team has a guy like this. And he is a legitimate like game changer, which is nice to see, because I'm sure you guys remember when he started out, he was just one of these young goons who's a massive dude. And you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He, who's the guy on the Rangers? I can't think of his name.
Rempe.
Yes. Who is very similar, where it was like, yeah, he's great, but all he does is take dumb penalties and fight. Like he has turned into a very, very good hockey player. I believe he scored 30 this year. And yeah, so he's turned into a really good hockey player and helping this team out a ton. So it'll be fun watching them go against Carolina. I think their puck may have already dropped at 7:45 here. I don't know if it's dropped yet or it's at 8, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun and exciting series. Hopefully the Caps can again kind of just keep chugging along and get another playoff series win.
Yeah, Tom Wilson, 33 goals, 32 assists, only 100 penalty minutes, paltry 100 penalty minutes.
Yeah,
it's uncharacteristic for Tom Wilson.
It's again something snapped, and they were like, "Hey, man, you're actually a good player." I'll never forget. I went to a practice. It may have been the first Caps practice. I think it was 2012 after the lockout, and we went down there. And I'm looking at my sheet, and I'm like, "Who is this 76 or whatever?" Like, this kid's massive. And they were like, yeah, he was born in 1990. He was young at that point. And again, he was 17 or 18, like freshly drafted. And I was like, this guy is a monster. And I look him up on the program sheet, Tom Wilson. So I was like, okay, easy name to remember. I can run with this one. And yeah, so it's been fun watching him turn into the player that he is now, not just a baby giraffe on skates who just wants to fight everyone.
Yeah, that's still Rempe.
Yeah, again, I just remember seeing like all the stuff where they were like, this kid has to, because he was taking like Tom Wilson had some bad penalties early, but same thing with Rempe. Like he's hurting guys, and like these aren't hot. You see that in football where it's like that's not a football play. He's doing stuff that's not hockey plays. It's like you got to get under control, dude, or you're not going to be in the league for long. So.
Yeah.
Dustin, let's talk about your Oilers a little bit. What do you think sparked that big comeback? Because I know they pulled they took out Skinner after game 3, and game 2, and they put in Calvin Pickard, and he's been the difference maker ever since. Is that the biggest thing, or it's just the guys decided, all right, we gotta get behind these. We gotta pick up our game.
I would think it's a little bit. I would think it's a little bit of both. I mean, goaltending always becomes paramount in the playoffs with the Stanley Cup, and I have to respectfully the corner booth, their love of the NBA playoffs right now. I mean, NBA playoffs have been good. I haven't caught as much of them, but they've been good. But the Stanley Cup is consistently good every year. You always have 7-game series. You always have, the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoff series, bar none, I would say. But I would say that it's probably a little bit of both, because this reminds me of, Oiler fans will remember that we acquired Dwayne Rollison from the Minnesota Wild, and he was the backup goalie at that point, and he just caught fire. I believe the starter in front of him might have been Ty Conklin. It was a while ago. You might have to, but Conklin got hurt. Rollison comes in, Rollison catches fire, and the Oilers ride his goaltending all the way to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup as an 8 seed that year. They got hot, and I think the goaltending sparked that, and I think, again, because he did it last year. Pickard did it last year. He sparked the Oilers after Skinner's less than stellar play, but I think a bigger factor might be also Connor McDavid. You started to see it last year, especially in the Stanley Cup Finals, the way things started out. He really doesn't get animated that much, but he lit the team up. That was the reports, that he lit them up, and he said, "Come on, let's go." And I think he's doing it again, because I think I've been, as an Oilers fan, I've been paranoid. I've been saying that they're not going to be able to retain both McDavid and Draisaitl. One of them's going to leave, and I'm like, McDavid is going to pull a LeBron. He's going to be frustrated with the situation. He's not going to want to stay. So I think it's the goaltending, but I also think McDavid is not messing around. He knows the stakes are high. He knows that you don't get too many opportunities to win one of these things. And he's been uncharacteristically, it's like I said, starting last year, he's been a little bit more fiery, a little bit more vocal, I think. So I think it's a combination, but the goaltending change seems to have sparked something again.
So the goaltenders for the Edmonton Oilers during that 2005-2006 season.
Yeah.
UC Markkanen started 37 games.
Forgot about that.
Mike Morrison played in 21 games.
I do not remember.
Ty Conklin, 18 games.
Okay.
And Dwayne Rollison, 19 games.
All right. So Rollison, but he was the spark. I'm telling you. You watch that. I mean, there was the Fernando Pisani goal. There was and my favorite number 10, Sean Horkoff. He was out there doing his thing at that time. But yeah. So my memory was a little wrong, but I'm telling you, Rollison sparked that run, and I hope that the switch to Pickard can do it again.
The one player I remember from that series, and this is going back in my memory a little bit, was that Rollison assist where he collects the puck, throws it in the air, swings his stick like a bat, and it just goes far. And I don't know who scored the goal, but Edmonton scored the goal. I think it was in Game 1 or Game 2 of that series. I'll have to look it up, but that's the one play I'll always remember from that series. It was crazy. It's crazy. I was kind of looking for a team to root for the rest of the playoffs, because my Devils are out of it, unfortunately. And like,
are you going Winnipeg?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. So on Saturday, I said Florida because I'm a big fan of Matthew Tkachuk. Have been since the Four Nations face-off. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the Tkachuk brothers. Yep. But I was looking at the rosters, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see how many Americans are on each roster. American-born players are in each roster from here on out. And you know who has the most American-born players on their roster?
Who?
2 Canadian teams.
Oh, man.
Toronto Maple Leafs have 10 on their roster.
Okay.
I don't want to root for Toronto.
Oh, man.
I hate Toronto. Ever since the 2000s, when the Devils played them in those semifinals, in the Eastern semifinals, I hate the Maple Leafs. The Winnipeg Jets have 9 American-born players on their roster, including Kyle Connor and Connor Hellebuyck. So,
okay.
If I'm going to root for a team, it might as well be the Jets, because I want to see a team named the Jets win a championship while I'm alive.
There you go.
That's fine.
All right. It got there. You were like Charlie Day connecting the dots, the yarn.
I landed the plane like a jet.
You did. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
There it is. And Desiree and Sunshine saying the same thing. Ryan convinced me to pull for the Jets, and she said, I can't go against the beard. Thank you. Oh, before we go into our favorite athletes to wear the number 32, I got to ask Eric, because Eric, back in the day, this is how we got connected. It was through the old Arena Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Eric was a sideline reporter for I think the final 2 seasons.
Yep.
And, through the Albany Empire of those days. And I kind of want to find out, are you still following, the league formerly known as the Arena Football League? Now it's AF1. Have you been following this year?
Not really. I will say I'm still friends with a couple of the guys on like the Philly, the Soul, and the old Atlantic City Blackjacks team. So I'm Facebook friends and Instagram, and so I'll see, Dwayne Hollis and what's his name? Who was the
Darius
receiver? Prince. Yes. So I saw. I kind of follow. I don't watch or see any of the highlights or anything, but if they put something on Facebook, I'll check it out and I'll follow it through that. But I'm not keeping up with stats or following the games and stuff. But I talked to Rory Nixon today, who was on Baltimore, the fullback. I still chat with them, so I keep in touch that way. But it's funny, because now is the time I'll get in, on Facebook, 5 years ago, or 4 years ago today, 6 years ago today, you were here, and it's in Atlantic City or in Philly or in Columbus or something like that. I never made it to Albany though.
How was the boardwalk at the?
That was awesome. That was
awesome.
Oh
okay.
my god, I love
that. Was one of the one arena I wanted to go check out before
that was folded. What was it? A Boardwalk Hall, I guess it was called.
Boardwalk Hall. Yep.
Yeah, it was cool because again, I would stay either at the Hard Rock or what was the one? It was the Ray Rice wife hotel. I forget what it was called. They had the nightclub H2O. I saw Busta Rhymes perform there. But the night before one of the games, it was a wild spot. But yeah, I would walk down the boardwalk and I would walk right past the Rainforest Cafe. And I always just wanted to spend all my per diem at the Rainforest Cafe. What could $100 really get me at the Rainforest Cafe? Just going alone. What kind of funky drinks could I get into there? But no, I love that building. The Boardwalk Hall was awesome. I mean, it was massive. It was so tall and it was really, really cool. It was a great building. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I'm hoping that Atlantic City lands another arena football team again. I would love to go to a game there. That would be fun.
They had a couple conference, some conference. I forget which one. Basketball had their games there, and
it was the MAC.
Is that who it was? Yeah,
Metro Atlantic, because the Siena we have a local team, Siena Saints, who are in the MAC. So
nothing screams MAC basketball like Atlantic City. Let me tell you that. When I think Siena, I think Atlantic City, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully, Albany Firebirds in their current iteration, the Albany Firebirds are 7-0. We actually talked about their game last week where they scored 100 points against Corpus Christi.
Man.
And we explained the reason why. And actually, Darius Prince and Dwayne Hollis were on the Corpus Christi Titans, but they protested because they weren't getting paid.
Yep.
You might have seen that on social media.
Yeah, I saw, again, I didn't know the exact story. I just saw him saying we're sitting out due to things out of my control. And it's again, I know how nasty it's been with some of the new ownership and not being able to pay people. And, it's that league, or again, whatever's left of it, is not in a very good spot. I loved it. Again, when you were there and when I was doing sideline games, that was awesome. That was so much fun to watch. It kind of, and again, they folded before COVID, so it's not even like they could really blame COVID killed us.
They couldn't. They could blame a missing insurance form. That's what basically it came down to, was the unpaid insurance form.
Yeah,
from 2011, when they were still kind of figuring things out after the remodel there. But I'm hoping I'll be at the last 3 games of the season, because they have 3 games left. They're all going to be at MVP Arena in Albany. Maybe 5 if they win out and they finish first place, they get home field advantage for the entire playoffs. So they had a pretty thrilling game on Sunday against Salina, the Liberty. They went to overtime. That was pretty thrilling ending there. So, but we're gonna move on to our final topic of the night, and because this is episode 32 of 2025, we're gonna talk about our favorite athletes to wear the number 32. And Eric, the rules basically are for this particular segment, they have to be of an athlete you watched. It could be somebody you watched on TV or somebody you watched live that you were a big fan of growing up or currently a fan of.
Mhm.
So we're talking about our favorite athletes to wear the number 32. So you're the guest. We're going to give you the honor of going first of your favorite athlete to wear the number 32.
So I'm looking down again. I don't know if this is cheating or not. I have a list.
Okay.
And I'm kind of looking down. And again, I look up and I see Ryan O'Hearn, who was for the Orioles, who has really turned it on this last kind of month. He wears 32. I enjoy him. Tyrann Mathieu, I've always loved him. I know he wasn't when I fell in love with him as the Honey Badger at LSU, which I'm sure a lot of America did. He was number 7. I'm thinking him. I'm trying to remember. I think Roy Halladay was 32.
He was.
I know he was a couple different, right?
I think he was 32 because I considered him for this ep.
Yes, he wore number 32 with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay. Yep, that's where I remember him. I may go with, and again, I'm kind of just scrolling down my list real quick. There's two other people. It was going to be, and again, they're basketball. One was Rip Hamilton, who had some great years here in Washington and was on one of my favorite basketball teams ever, which was that was it 04 Pistons team, the one that beat the Lakers.
I believe it was them. Yeah,
I loved that team. I have my Ben Wallace jersey upstairs still. But then oh crap, who was it? I just had it in my mind. I had it on my list. I scrolled by him. I was like, it's gonna be him. Sorry.
No, nothing.
You think Sean Elliott?
No, because I remember Elliott, but I wasn't. I don't know. He didn't really do anything for me. I think Blake Griffin. I loved
a little Lob City going on.
Yeah,
okay.
And again, especially I like him because he's my age. I'm like 6 months older than him, so I like connected to him in that way, being like, oh yeah, we're going through the same thing. We're with freshmen in college at the same time. You know, we're only about 1.5 foot difference, maybe 200 pounds. But him like off the court is really like what did it for me. He is. If you like, he was great friends with Norm Macdonald, so he's very funny like that. Not that many people know that. There's a clip that goes around YouTube. He was on some show and he was talking about it, how like when he won the Rookie of the Year press award the next year, because wasn't that the whole thing was he missed the year with his knee injury, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, is he a rookie? Is he not? Blah blah blah. But Norm Macdonald snuck into the press conference at like the Kia Rookie of the Year, whatever it was, and again they were just asking questions. And they were like, oh, you back there, sir. And again, Blake didn't know it was him. And Blake does stand up and all that stuff. I think he's a writer too. But they were like, you, sir. And he's like, yeah, Blake, Norm Macdonald. And Blake just like starts cracking up. And he said, Norm looked at him and was like, no one's ever won it back-to-back years. Like, what are you going to do next year to try and win this award? And Blake was just like, I'm going to give it my all. And, I'll go out there and do my best. And he was just cracking up during it. But I don't know. I loved how violent his dunks were. And that was like early YouTube when it was like, I'm just going to watch this on YouTube over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I thought he was a really good basketball player. But then again, I just really like, I don't know, his personality. And like, I listened to him on Pardon My Take and it's like, this guy rocks. He is just as so I don't know. He's a guy that really stuck with me. And like you said, the Lob City teams they blew us away. They were just so much fun to watch. So I'll stick with Blake Griffin there.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Blake getting his just desserts finally.
Mm-hmm.
On to you, Dustin.
All right. Well, this one, you knew it was either going to be at 32 or 34. I was going to pick them. If you've been a long-time listener of my tenure on this show, you know who it is. It's Shaquille O'Neal. Playmaker, I hope you're still watching because I know you're a Magic fan. Here we go. Shaq at wearing number 32 with the Orlando Magic. I'm an 80. I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s. Watching Shaq on the Magic was something to behold. Did I consider picking him for 34, but then I figured, I got to pick somebody else, so I'm going 32. Shaq's it. And much to Eric's story, not for just what he did on the court. His court credentials speak for themselves. I still think he would one of the biggest what ifs in sports is if he stayed in Orlando, what could have happened? And what if Penny didn't get hurt?
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, there's a whole documentary about it, this magic moment. Go watch it. But Shaq is just, not only is he a Hall of Famer, one of the best centers to ever do it. My uncle tells a story that when Shaq was at LSU, my uncle was in college, and there was a kid that they were picking brackets, for March Madness. And this one guy just X'd out everything and just put Shaq all the way to the finals. Now it didn't happen, but Shaq was that good. He was that much of a force. He is the reason they changed basketball hoops, because he kept breaking them.
Yeah.
Shaq, and what people forget is early in his career with the Lakers at 34, a couple seasons in, he put on a few pounds. He wasn't moving the way that he used to. But with the Magic, when he was wearing 32, he was a gazelle. Not to mention, and he was a facilitator too. You had to feed him the ball, but he could facilitate on that team as well because he commanded so much attention. And the Magic had some shooters, on those early team incarnations. But Shaq's impact on culture too. You had Shaq Fu, the video game, which I played when I was a kid. You gotta, did I get into his rapping? Not so much, but he was on Arsenio Hall. He was doing that.
I have a single of his.
Excellent. Excellent. Maybe I should have played it for tonight.
I got skills, man. I know I got skills, man.
Now he also, much to Eric's point about Blake, Shaq just seems like a really funny guy. I've watched him on Inside the NBA for years, and he's like my top person that I would want to sit down and have a beer with. Not to mention the fact that he is smart. Everybody thought that Shaq was not smart. Shaq knows exactly what to do with his money. And, he said it was instilled in him by his military father. If you're going to do something, learn it and do it right. And Shaq certainly has done that. And I'll close out by saying in the time when Shaq was a megastar and he could have gotten a massive shoe deal, he put his shoes at Kmart and he charged a lower amount for them so that families could afford them. I know Shaq has had some missteps in his personal life. We all have. Shaq, all around great dude. From what I know, he's my pick for 32. It wasn't even close. You knew it was coming. Shaq, the Diesel.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, he has a PhD from LSU. I think he has an education.
Yeah,
you are correct in saying he's a smart dude because dude's got a PhD. Dude's a doctor. Dr. Shaq.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? I might as well complete the circle with our favorite athletes to win number 32 with a basketball player of my own. Irvin Magic Johnson.
Great pick,
I grew up, look, I'm an old man, 47 years old. I started earn my chops, kind of cutting my teeth in basketball with Bird, with Magic, with Ewing. By the way, sneak preview for who probably going to pick for number 33. And then Dustin, you could have picked Shaq for number 33 because that was his number at LSU. So there you go. You could have gone with either 32, 33, or 34. So there you go. But no, Magic Johnson, the guy was just charisma on and off the court, smooth as passes, hardest passes in NBA. And yeah, you could argue it's that the style they had was considered street ball back in the day, but it really wasn't. It was fundamental, but he just, the way he started the fast break with the Lakers, basically single-handedly created Showtime. Yeah. If you watch the Celtics Lakers Best of Enemies documentaries on Netflix with ESPN, it was just the way that they described the rivalry with the Celtics and the Lakers back in the early 80s into the mid to late 80s was incredible. It was just great. And but Magic Johnson was the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They were the drivers of that rivalry because it started in college when they played in the 1979 championship game. when Magic was at Michigan State and Larry Bird was at Indiana State, excuse me. But I also remember the day that he had to announce his retirement because he contracted HIV. Yeah. And it was a sad day for me because I was wearing his sneakers at the time. I had the Converse, the Cons number 32 with the Lakers colors as my sneakers. But it was just he was one of my favorite basketball players, along with Bird, Jordan, Patrick Ewing. Like, those are the guys I followed. Like, I really cut my teeth when it came to basketball. So for my number 32, it's Magic Johnson. So,
that's a great pick too.
Yeah, that's a great one. A lot of great personalities with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dr. J, I think too, right? 32.
I'm trying to think. I think
Dr. J wore number. I think Dr. J he wore number 6 when he was at the 76ers.
Okay.
But I think he might have worn number 32 with the New Jersey Nets.
That's what I think. I think on this list I'm looking at. Yeah, I think 32 with the Nets. So
yep.
But yeah, that's there's a lot of, I don't know. These guys may be more known for their off the court stuff than they're. Well, again, they're all incredible players on the court, but they're off the court. It's just as.
And Magic Johnson was one of the first athletes to really hit it big with his money, because he was a guy who earned that 25-year, $25 million contract, which was the richest contract in sports at the time. Yeah. But he also started businesses. He started corporations. He owned movie theaters. He did really well with his money. And right now I think he's part of the ownership group of the Washington Commanders, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
With Josh Harris.
Yes, it's the Commanders. Yep. Because he tried to get on the Dodgers, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Also part of the Dodgers too. Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. Some comments in the comments section with their favorite number 32s. Julie from Michigan saying Brian Branch from the Detroit Lions is hers. D's Ray Sunshine saying CJ Mosley, former New York Jets. She has a signed jersey and hat of CJ Mosley, who wore number 32 at the University of Alabama. Also Rashawn Evans, just a few years later. Those guys were stable players from some of Nick Saban's best defense, the championship defenses. Staniel Smooth saying Islanders legend Steve Thomas, who scored 70 points in 71 games. I think I remember correctly, Steve Thomas was born in Great Britain. Remember Islanders legend did, I think. And I think one of his kids plays for the St. Louis Blues. And no, I'm not gonna read the joke that Staniel put up about Magic Johnson throwing. Anywho, so we're gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna give the floor to Eric to promote his stuff. So and thank you, Eric, for being with us. We appreciate taking some time out of your Tuesday night to be with us. So where can people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm on Twitter at EDITTI22. I'll be popping off about the Orioles on there. And then the podcast at Exit 52 podcast. You can find the blogs on barstoolsports.com. And I'm trying to think what else. I think that may be it.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, again, thanks for being with us. And before we get out of here, it's got to let the people know where we can find No Credentials Required. That is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just do a search for No Credentials Required on each of those pages. You'll find us. Give us a follow. And also check out our other podcasts and written articles on bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe, iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora. And also don't forget, hit that notification bell, whether you're on Twitter or on YouTube. That way you know when show announcements go up, when we go live on the video. And again, this will be on replay on the Belly Up YouTube channel sometime tomorrow morning. And also if we put up replay videos of clips from the show, it'll be on the YouTube channel. And again, rate, review, comment, 5-star rating, leave a review where you can, and also on Spotify, leave us a comment. Also, if you're watching on the replay, and thanks to all of our friends who are out there leaving comments in the comment section. We appreciate you, and we'll get things. We'll wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for joining us on No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Eric, for Dustin, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll see you on Saturday, 10 a.m. for the morning brunch and Saturday morning brunch. Until then, have a great week.
Good night, everybody.